Okay, boys and girls, we're going to be looking to trade the DAX while my beautiful assistant is tidying up my mess and hopefully making me a coffee.
The reason you call it Scruffy?
Is because as beautiful.
You make a mess.
I do make a mess, actually. I make a terrible mess. But my charts are not. But I need the coffee to operate the charts. Why? Because we all know Scruffy likes a coffee. Now, I've already done a full breakdown on this in the Discord. This is the trade that we're looking for. We are essentially going to be selling the DAX for 19, 20 pips. It's a bit risky, so I've got to be a bit careful. And also when I look at the euro strength, it's middle of the ground, so it's not really putting pressure on the DAX. And the euro's lost ground, so there will be a little bit of volatility kicking about. So if I get rid of that and we look at the chart itself, we'll be able to start working this out. Now, it's probably coming in roughly now. So I'm going to put an initial order in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 under here. Now, one of the things that I'm going to start and do for you guys, and it really depends on how well this video does. If it gets destroyed, well, then who cares? But what I want to do is kind of try and show you different elements. And one of those different elements is how indicators work. So I'll just systematically work my way through. So there'll be like the music speedy bit. But what I'll do is while the trade's playing out, I'll pull up an indicator and you can even request it. But at the minute, I'm just going to work through alphabetically or alphabetical order and talk to you while this is playing and also tell you what the trade's up to. Now, if you look at the Discord, now this is where the squad operate. I've been doing quite a lot for these, as you can see, full breakdown, trading from scratch, tell them what it's all about, etc., etc. Now, it's all right giving an overview like this. Take it a bit further. So down in the market updates, you can kind of see what's going on. So 12 o'clock noon, there's no trades, so you stay out of it. This one, it's telling you to wait, so it's possible in the next hour, and it'll tell you roughly what the targets are, so do a lot for them. And then take it another step further, where not only do I do a full overview in video format, which is here, so break it all down for them, etc. I then follow the biases through as to how the chart evolves throughout the day. So there we go. And then here we are, we're up to the 1 o'clock. And again, explaining exactly what it's doing. So the guys know exactly what's going on. And of course, they can always ask me in Ask Scruff, what's happening, all these different things. So I do a lot for the guys. I genuinely do. So what are we doing with this trade, first of all? Well, first of all, I needed to establish whether this was buying or selling. Now, what we can see, there'd been a huge drop here. It didn't make a new low, and then it pushed its way up back to where it came from. However, it then collapsed on itself. Now, it collapsed on itself because, well, one, we've got this gap, but also it was double topping in and around here and coming down. So that's a good indicator as to what's happening. Now, if we look at the very high time frames and we come here, we're also seeing a different type of picture. Now, this picture is big move. It's come up about halfway. It's failed to get any higher, and then it's struggling again. So it looks like it's going to try and get back down here somewhere. Why? Well, that's what the markets do. They oscillate. They'll push down, they'll pull up so far, they'll have a think, and then they'll push back down again. Now, the overall view of this is to the downside. So I'm really just looking to sell this market. Now, if I take it down into 15 minutes so I can see, massive selling pressure, nice area here. So what do? Well, you just follow the candles up. And that's exactly what we're trying to do at this point. So counted so many back. That's the optimum entry area. But as it pushes up, it's not a major issue. So I can move that into there. So really, for me to get 20 pips, It's just really coming into range. Now, this is the beauty of following candles. Trying to time the market is silly, you know. And I do often call it like clown shoes and various other things. It's a bit like fast money, you know. People get a bit upset when I say the clowns. If you're chasing fast money, you are a clown. Just steady steps. It's what you need, you know. And if you don't like it, fuck off. Watch somebody else. It's that simple, right? Because I do get a bit peeved from time to time. You know, I'll show you my bank accounts and everything. I can't be any more than what I do. And it all comes from these sort of principles that I'm looking at here. It's steady steps. You know, I'm not looking for big swingers. Yes, this thing can run 100 pips. But look, as it goes down, it comes back up. Well, you're giving all your money away. So in that move, when it runs down into that level, take your money, let it relax, reload, take the money again. You've had 2 bites of the cherry for the same move. And if you were looking for a 100 pip move, well, you could make all of that 100 pips just in here instead of holding it from there all the way down here. Work the chart. Most people don't understand that. And they say, yeah, you're fannying on with pennies. I might fanny on with pennies, but I bank them as well. So there we go. So happy days, happy days. So let's just kind of see what's going on with this. What I'm going to do initially is just get it into market. Now, ideally. Now, what I've also got to do is figure out where this thing can run to. Now, on a 5-minute chart, it's probably up here. An easier way to do it, step it back to 15 and it'll show you. Well, if this is going to run and it's going to run all the way back, that means it can come all the way up here. All right. So you've got to ask yourself, fucking hell, that's a long way. Where's a logical point that you're wrong? It's probably in and around this area here, this swing point. So I'm happy to stage up to there. If it goes beyond there, there's a high probability it's coming here, possibly there, and I'll have to really fight the market. But fighting the market here isn't too bad. In fact, it's in the realms of possibility, and I'd be happy with that. Okay, so that's one of the first things I do. I look to see if the chart is worth it, and I believe up to there probably is. You know, a lot of people go risk reward. I go on return on investment. Different concept. So when people argue with me, again, just do what you like. I couldn't give a fuck. You know, I do what I like, you know, and it works for me. And that's the secret, guys. Does it work for you? If you think you're getting your 3-1 and you're happy with 4 wins out of 10, fine. Mentally, I can't. It's not a good place to be. In fact, it's a terrible place to be. But also, what you got to remember is with these 3-1s, the market has to have the exact same stop, the exact same target, the exact same position size, and the exact same conditions. Very rarely all of they marry up. And that's why it fails all the time. If you look at each trade individually and take it on its merit, you'll find trading becomes a damn sight easier. Anyway, so let's see what this is. We'll drop it into 5 minutes and we'll have a look. Okay. So that's the initial. Now I said I was going to be looking at sort of indicators in these sort of videos, kind of just as well as doing the speedy. Ah, fantastic. Got the coffee, boys and girls, because we all know Scruffy likes his coffee. He also likes tits, and he likes tits because Winky likes cock. And she does. See how she grabbed it straight away? Dirty girl. Dirty girl. Oh, fucking WhatsApp's kicking off. Who's this? Oh, fuck off. Right. Oh, there's 5 of them, and some of them are just a pain in the arse. Right, okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to flick some indicators on. So we'll just get rid of these that we're not using. I just use basic stuff all the time, guys. You know, I like Bollinger Bands and MACDs and things. Not necessarily as definitives. They give you a good overview of what's going on. But today we're going to start at the top of the shop. And it's the Aroon. Wow. Look at this little bad boy. What can this tell us about this chart? Well, the Aroon, if I just pull this back and flick that on, it's an indicator that helps identify your trends through strength. And it's on a scale of 0 to 100. It's kind of an oscillator. And what it does is it can help tell you whether it's in an uptrend or a downtrend. And it's very visual in the way that you look at it. So if I'm looking at this moment in time, I wouldn't try and sort of preempt anything. And what I mean by that is, ideally, it's sort of here, you know, crosses through the 30-70, a little bit like what an RSI is. No, not necessarily. I would just look at the color patterns in it. Now, the color patterns in this has now shown me that it's red. Why? Because the red is above the green, showing dominance to the market, pushing down. All right. It's quite a simple indicator because it's very visual. Now, there is another indicator very similar to this, and it works on a similar principle. And it's the Ichimoku cloud with the cloud twist. It's trying to tell you whether or not the trend is up, whether the trend is down, backwards, who cares? But the Aroon is literally a very good, quick indicator as to whether or not this is a down market or an up market. And it's red. So for me, it's a down market. That's kind of the quick snapshot. Now, if I pull this back and you can kind of see what everything is based on. Now, we're currently at 29 profit on this thing. So I'll just drop that back up there. Now, what you can see here, when the Aroon line is above the down line, the overall trend is considered up and vice versa. Well, in this case, it was for down. And there you go, 14. And what it's doing is, if I just read this out for you, the Aroon line will reach 100 when a new high is reached. And if 14 days pass, a new high, it will be 0. And then vice versa. But the easiest way to read this particular indicator is this, okay? If it's red, now this is the line, right? It's above the green, therefore it's showing more dominance to the downside, and it is above this line, the 30 line, you're pretty much okay to sell it, all right? If it's under here, then there's a chance that this thing may well reverse. And you can see that down here. All right. Comes down, up there, got above, wallop, straight back down. All right. It's the easiest way to read it is just look at the colors. And it's not an indicator I use too much. Don't particularly like it too much. But it's the top of the tree. And that's where we started. Give you something to have a little look at. It's essentially just a bounded oscillator with colours. If it's red, it's down. If it's green, it's up. So this is nearly a target. So what we'll do is we'll play this one out and see how we get on at the end. Okay, guys, a quick interlude. Because I'm asked on pretty much every video a couple of questions. Who do I use and what platform do I use to build small accounts? Well, it's very simple. I come to BlackBull because you can trade with any amount of money that you choose. You've got over 26,000 products. So if you're Forex, indices, shares, commodities, you're going to find it. And they've got excellent world-leading leverage, which you can use to open up an asset and get your positions in, and also the spreads are fantastic. These are the companies that I use to build up. From here, I take it over into the fivers. I have never had a problem getting paid off these, as you can see. And one of the beauties of the fivers at the moment is they're introducing new programs and platforms all the time. They've now recently come back over into the US, so you guys can now take advantage of the prop. and you've got C Trader, and you've got the 3 programs here to choose from, which are very cost effective. Now, to give you an example, there's an account there, 157. You might be thinking, wow, what's that got to do with anything? Well, it is BlackBull, but let's see where it came from. Well, if I take this right to the very top, you'll see it started with £15, and then there's all of the trades running through. Don't get it right all the time, but running through £142 worth of profit, giving me 157. Well, if that's the case, I can now go and buy a prop fund and then feed those funds back into the live to push it forward. Now, if you're interested in any of these, come along and visit my website. You will see everything that I do, and there's extra discounts and exclusive links for both the companies. And both companies use the following platforms, which is TradingView, CTrader, and MetaTrader. My personal choice is MetaTrader, but it's all there for you, so you're on the same page, whichever.
I'd buy that for $1.
Good luck. Catch you soon. Let's get back to the video. So there you go, my love. Another step closer to that villa.
Ooh.
We're thinking about getting a villa, boys and girls, because I want to retire and fuck off. I've had enough. Why? Because the fucking world's awful. And if you live in our dictatorial bloody UK, there's a good reason. Do you know something? I'll explain this one in a minute, because I'm going to get right fucking rant. Right. That trade's complete. Did everything that I wanted it to do. It's come straight back into range. I'm quite happy with that. Nothing to worry about. Everything's a winner. Everybody's happy. I'm happy. No tickets. That's the bit that I'm after. No tickets. And 100 quid in 20 minutes. So, it's not bad holy rate, is it? Live with that. No. Okay. My little description of the Aroon mightn't have been the best. But the idea of doing the indicators in these, I'm going to do it each month. So the next one will probably be ATR. And then I'll just work my way through it. It's kind of just to educate her a little bit. But as to the villa, we're out in Benidorm. We like Benidorm. We like Spain. We've grown to like the lifestyle out there. But we don't like the lifestyle here in the UK. Why? Because it's become a shit show. Everything seems to be difficult. Everything seems to be hard. Everything costs a bloody fortune. How do I know? Because look who's shopping again.
Not again, I'm just looking for ideas.
You lying bitch. Did you buy anything just then? Say that.
It was for you as well. It was Ben.
Ben. The only Ben I want is when you're on top of it with suspenders on. Why is that? Because she likes the cock.
Will you get this?
Yeah, she does. She loves it. But she loves buying houses as well. And that's the thing. So one of the processes that I'm doing at the moment is I'm building up a pot to buy another house. Might take me about 18 months. And if that's the case, fine. Oh, bloody hell. Another WhatsApp's coming. What's this?
Oh, you're popular.
No, it's all right. Oh, it's one of the guys wanting a breakdown. Yeah. All right. I'll just finish this nav and then I'll get to it. There's a pile of them above you as well. Never ends. Never ends. Talking of things that never end, if you want to keep a track of what it is that I do, go onto sort of the front page of the Scruffy Trader. I'll show you. Bear with me. And I'll show you where to find it.
A warm welcome back to
bollocks. Flick that over. If you come here, so any video will get you to here, just click the logo, come to the front page, and you'll see posts. what you'll see down here is these are the things that I've actually done for the guys. So you can see a running stop. Yeah, my payouts are starting to come in as well today. Get a couple £100 every other week. Quite happy with that. Grand a month. A couple of these accounts, that's £2 a month. Sharp adds up, 24 grand a year. That's where the house is coming from. Build it up in January, pay my tax bill, whatever's left, dump it in a savings account. Everything I do is about moving forward to the future. Is that about right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to move forward with?
You?
Is that because you get the willy? Huh? Should we have a coalition of the willy?
Get rid of it.
Our dictator's famous saying, let's have a coalition of the willy. Or is it the willing? I say the willy. Willy. And stick your digital ID up your ass. I didn't want any of that shit.
No, I don't.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that. And who knows? So for those of you who are overseas, yes, we are considering moving to a less strict environment. North Korea seems quite good. You fancy North Korea? Bit cold there, eh? Iceland? Think we get found in Iceland?
I'm sure it'd be cold there.
Arctic? I could be the big bear.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
Okay. Right. Right, on to the next one for Nav. Catch us all soon.